Now, you know my mum is a theatre show without barriers, and that includes cost. Now, Francis Stojsavovic is from Ego Arts, and he's been telling me about the play, which is a pay-what-you-decide production, which is just a wonderful thing. So he told me about who they are and what they do.
So Ego Arts, we're a theatre company based in Coventry. We run theatre workshops throughout the week and also production arts workshops and music workshops. A large part of our focus is for adults with learning disabilities and neurodivergence, trying to bring creativity and joy into people's lives.
And you come to Ark in Stockton, which I think you found a sort of kindred spirit, because Ark in Stockton do a lot of great work when it comes to filling in the gaps when it comes to the arts with people that maybe don't feel that the arts is for them.
Absolutely. The Ark have been so accommodating. They've been absolutely brilliant. We've had some really wonderful conversations with them because they're really hot on access. And that's something that's really important to us. So that means things like British Sign Language interpretation and audio description and relaxed performances. That's all stuff that we want to offer as part of this show, because it means that people who are neurodivergent or deaf or blind or visually impaired have an opportunity to experience the show too.
When you take a show on tour, how difficult is it to find stages, places that are as accommodating and accessible as Ark? Is it difficult to plan something?
Yeah, because it's one thing having a theatre that's accessible to audiences of all different types, but having a theatre that's also accessible backstage for the actors too, that's not a given. We needed to make sure that the changing room spaces were suitable, that there was wheelchair access, all sorts of stuff backstage that isn't the same across the board, but of course Ark have been wonderful with that, and they were suitable.
It's things that we take for granted, that everything is accessible and everyone can do everything. And we think of these great theatres, we've got some brilliant theatres in our part of the world, but a lot of them were built in Victorian times, and there was never the thought given for access for actors with disability.
Yeah, and that's a struggle, which means that some theatres that we approached just couldn't take the show, which is such a huge shame, because it's a type of theatre which not everyone will have seen before. Yeah. And it's But like I say, the Ark have been wonderful.
That's really nice of you to say. And I'm always interested for people that are from outside our part of the world to think, because we tend to take things for granted because it's on our doorstep. You know what it's like. You're probably the same with stuff down your way. And it's nice to know that what we have is special. Now, let's talk about the show, because this is brilliant, genuinely. So tell me about the performance, if you don't mind.
Right, so the show's called You Know My Mum. And it's a moving, true story of Alex, who's a young woman with Down syndrome. She plays herself in the show, and it's about how her mother passed away. She wanted to tell her own story, and we've told that story through the medium of comedy and music and giant birds prancing around the stage and real imagination and creativity.
I'm sold on the giant birds, if I'm perfectly honest with you, Francis. You've got me at that point. How important is it that we hear real-life experience of people that have Down syndrome?
Well, this is a rare thing to see an adult with Down syndrome on stage telling their own story. That's really important, because it's quite a difficult, long process to put together a show like this. We've been working on this show since the start of 2023 through our weekly workshops. We're in a training program for adults with learning disabilities and autism to perform on stage. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks to make sure that everybody in that room has a chance at taking part in the devising process, throwing in their ideas, their experiences of bereavement, for example, and making sure that it all mixes into this melting pot so that the end product is something authentic and true to those performers. And not all theatre is afforded that kind of space to develop with everybody in mind.
I was going to say a lot of... Is there a reticence for people that have disability to come forward to be part of a theatre company because they think, I've been told time and time again, it's not for me, and I'm not the sort of person that they're looking for, when in fact you are? Isn't given that confidence to give a chance on stage and be yourself?
Yeah, and there is space for it. The best person who to play an adult with Down syndrome is an adult with Down syndrome. And what we need to do is create those roles and make sure that those roles are touring the country, because that's the only way that people will start to see themselves reflected on stage and then realise that they are more than capable of doing it. These actors are incredible. They just needed the chance to show themselves.
How did the story arc come around? Did it need, was it just sitting and listening to Alex and then finessing the story, or was it just, Alex, you tell your story because you've lived it, you've got the experience of it here?
Oh, it's a long and complicated journey to develop a show like this. We spent a lot of time with Alex learning about her mom, learning about her memories of her mom, and then we took it to the floor. To develop a show at Ego, we spend every session throwing together improvised pieces. We get into little groups, and we're given a little topic to say, okay, let's give us an idea of what happens after you die, like an idea for life after death. Then we've got 10 minutes. We'll put something together and then perform it to the rest of the group. And if you do this 100 times, you end up honing these ideas that stick out and inspire everybody. And what started from the seed of Alex's story blossoms into this beautiful story about birds and dreams and nightmares, and that's how you end up with something as wonderful as that.
That's brilliant, isn't it? Space and time and listening is just such an amazing gift to give to somebody. How does Alex feel about it? You know, touring around and telling her story night after night.
Oh, she is so excited. She absolutely loves it. Yeah. And she's proud, and she wants people like her to come and see it too. She wants people go to special schools to see themselves reflected on stage, because it's something she would have wanted to see. And so, yeah, she's a superstar, so of course she loves it.
And this is one thing that really opened my eyes, if I'm honest with you, Francis. There's a wonderful theatre company that work out of our called Little Cogs. And I went to see a play that they did. It was people that were from various degrees of disability and neurodivergence saying, I don't need you to tell me what I think, because I can think for myself. I don't need you to tell my story. I know what I want for tea, and I know what clothes I want to wear today. I don't need you to tell me. And it's that, isn't it? It's spin it round. You know, everybody has a voice, but we tell it in different ways.
Totally. And that's why it's so important to put Alex and the other actors with learning disabilities front and centre in that show. We can't tell their story for them. That's the whole point. They have to take this show out on the road and tell people directly from their own perspective what their story is.
You must be very proud.
Oh, I'm proud. I absolutely love it. It is such a joy.
I can hear it in your voice. The thing is, I bet you haven't worked a day in your life because you're doing something you love.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, we've been working on this show for 2 years, and it's just a joy to come in every day and to throw these mad ideas around, work with such joyful, friendly, kind people, and look at this beautiful end product. I hope people come and see it, because it's just amazing. So You Know My Mom is the name of the show. We're coming to the Arc in Stockton on Thursday the 1st of May at 7:30. And then we're doing a matinee performance on Friday the 2nd of May at 1 p.m.
Wonderful. Have you got a website so people can see the work that you do, or social, so people can sort of see, because you may inspire some other groups to sort of say, well, if they're doing it, we can try it.
Oh, yeah, please do give us a follow on socials. We're posting videos all the time about the backstage process, interviews with the cast, and it fleshes out the story behind the show. So our socials are at Ego Arts UK. That's EGO Arts UK.
There you go. And Arc in Stockton being the facilitator of wonderful shows like You Know My Mum. And thank you very much to Francis this morning from Ego Arts for chatting to us. So there you go, an opportunity to go and see it. Pay what you decide. They do a lot of that at Arc. What's your story?